Okay, so this is the part I think you're going to really like. It's how to assign assessments to students and use the adaptive workflow mode. So if we go back to our Go Math website, and again, I'm on the dashboard, I'm starting in the same place each time. We're going to click on the Browse button, and I'm going to go to grade 4. Now I'm going to click on the program structure, and I'm going to say start at the same place, the place value every time. Okay, chapter 1. Whoops. Now if I scroll up, I think we've already been here once when I showed you some of the activities to do in your classroom, but I'm going to show you how to avoid photocopying, avoid grading tests, and even avoid trying to analyze your data that you get from your assessment to make your teaching better. This will do all of that for you. So we're going to click on the chapter 1 review and test core instruction. Okay. And if I scroll up, I am going to have a look at this one. Now this one here, the Personal Math Trainer chapter 1 post test. So that would be what we in the paper version would think of as the end of chapter test. And just to show you as well, if the one above it is the Personal Math Trainer chapter 1 post test homework. That is the, the chapter review on the paper that you do before the end of chapter test. So there's a difference between the two of them. If you use the homework, or what we would know as the review, the end of chapter review, it will give you an example for each question. It will give you a step-by-step guide, okay? However, let's go back. If you look at this Personal Math Trainer, the last one, chapter 1 post-test, so if we click on that one, as you can see at the side here, there's no step-by-step, there's no help, this is the assessment, okay? So let's go back again. So I would like to assign this to my students so that I don't have to photocopy it and I don't have to grade it. So we're all happy here. So I don't need to click on the actual assignment. I click here on assign. So I'm clicking on assign. It says, do you want to change it? Do you want to modify it in any way? Not at the moment. So perhaps that's something we could play with at a later date. But right now I'm going to add it for my students. I'm going to give it the name of place value assessment. Okay. I mean, the student instructions are do. We could make those a little bit more try your best or something, a little bit more. Okay. Select a class. So I'm going to add this to my 2016-2017 class. I don't have any groups within that class yet. Okay, now these are my available students in that class. I would like to give it to all of the students at the moment. Okay, so the date is the due date. They have to get it done by the 28th of June. They can do it at any time, but if I wanted to, I could schedule a start and finish time. But to make it easy, I'm just going to say you can do it at any time. You could give a password to the assessment if perhaps you had students who wanted to move ahead, but you didn't want them to move ahead without your knowledge or your guidance. So if they would have to come to you for a password in order to take it. So that's something that you can play with later as well. They can pause the assessment. Okay. Now, just here, adaptive workflow. If you click the yes button, which I'm going to do, what it will do is if a student had all of their addition questions incorrect, it will then give them questions to help them practice their addition. But if they got all their subtraction questions incorrect, it would give a student help with their subtraction. Okay, so the workflow type, you can choose either one. The daily intervention is the one that I'm familiar with. Okay, and it gives, I'll show you that in a minute, but it will give questions each day and help students. So I'm going to save that. Okay. So now, hopefully, fingers crossed, that has assigned the assessment to the students in my class. So how can I find out if I did if it actually happened? Here's my assignment list. I now have 2 assignments there. Okay. I have my end of chapter 1 test and my place value assessment, which are actually the same thing. Yes. But on the I just want to show you, here's one I prepared earlier. So for this one, I have the results of my, I did it. I didn't do very well. I only got 10%, but I did try my best, which is all that I asked. Okay. So if I click on here, I can, no, sorry, I went to the wrong place. So I know now on this, I can view the items. I know who's completed it, what their score was. That's just basic. That's all it's going to give me on that. So if I scroll back up to the top and I now go back to my home page, this is my dashboard. Hopefully, it's taking a little while to come up. Okay, let's try again, home. Okay, here we go. So now, if I go to grade 4, this is my home page. So, as you can see on my home page now, under assignments, it will tell me who started any of the assignments that I have assigned. That's this one here. As you can see, remember I had done one of those tests. And then it gives other assignments that I have put in, but have not been started. You can see no one started it yet. Right, so here's the part I really like. If I go back to the top and I click on browse, oh no, sorry, not that part, hang on. If I click reports, here we go. Now, it does start to get a little complicated and I don't have an enormous knowledge of this. However, if I want to report so I can find out the data by assessment, I could do it by standards or by assessments. I've chosen assessments because I don't have a lot of stuff in there yet, okay? I'm going by assessments. I would like to generate it to the screen. Expand all. Why won't it do it? Okay, let me just carry on. So the current year, that would be all the assessments done this year. Let me select a grade, which will be grade 4 in mathematics. Apply. Here is my chapter 1 post-test. This is the assignment that we're looking at to get the data from. They've got advanced filters. That'll just specify your information. If I generate, this will generate it to the screen. Okay, so here we go now. This tells me I've got 3 choices: an assessments report, a comparisons, and a view by standard. Okay, so let me come over a little bit. Here you go. This is my class, this is my whole class, and on average my class have we have 10%. Okay, so the class average just tells me what the score was. That's a basic score. It doesn't give me any other information, okay, at the moment. However, if I scroll back up and I view by standard, okay, so now it's given me a little bit more information that I would like. So if I look here on my summary, I can see that of the 4 questions I answered on this standard, I answered 4 questions on this standard, I got 3 points. However, as we scroll down, you can see I don't really understand how to round because I answered 4 questions and I didn't get any of them right. I also don't know how to add and subtract, so I didn't get any right there. So this report, obviously that's only one person's, mine, okay? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to log out and I'm going to do my pretend student, if I can remember the password, okay? Use my password for pretend student, obviously that's not what it is. Okay, I'm going to pause password now. So I'm logging in under pretend student. So this is a student view of what they will get. They have a library, they have their scores, and they have things to do. It's a bit demoralizing if you get 10% in that one, isn't it? Okay, so that's something that perhaps we might want to look at. Do we actually want to give these students a real score? Okay, are we worried about that at this stage? But if they go to things to do, which is what we do want them to do, look, they have an end of chapter 1 test prescription. Okay, so if they click on here, this is what they need to do, instructions of how to use this. Go to test, but it's an assignment. So Here we are. This is a daily intervention for this student. So is the comparison true? Choose yes or no for each comparison. So is this right? So let's say yes. Is this one correct? Actually, that one's not right, is it? Sorry. Okay. Yes. Is this one correct? That's not correct. Is this one correct? Yes, that is correct. Okay. Actually, that's not correct. I was right the first time. No, it's not correct. So, okay. You can see why I only got 10% on my last one. So I can click on the next one. Okay. Now, if I keep getting things wrong, it will give me more and more practice. Okay. Again, I can view an example. Okay. I can view the textbook to help me. But if you just click on here to say, oh, have a little play, how many questions, it will assume that you're getting the question wrong and it will keep giving you more. So it's very important that your students try their hardest to actually answer it correctly. Okay, so this is what I love, that it has the daily intervention. When students have finished, they can turn it in. They can watch a tutorial to help them. They can do the step-by-step. They can view the textbook. And whoops, I didn't mean to do that. And they can view the example. So I think this could be used very well in interventions. Honestly, I'm not sure how we would have time to do it. Whoops, is that better? I'm not sure how we'd have time to do it in the classroom, but I think it's something that we could use for an intervention.